Hey guys, my name is Angelia and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Palia. And I do apologize for my absence lately. We did go to California to visit my husband's family. And I'm also dealing with a lot of health things, which I kind of want to talk about. So if you're not comfortable with like health talk or makes you kind of squeamish, ooh, we can flirt with Reth. We're going to do that. We're trying to romance Reth. He's the one that like we have one of the best relationships with, so I figured it's probably just gonna be the easiest. He got me a present. A sweet berry pie. Says we look nice today. Okay, we'll take it. I mean, I'm also trying to get Gina to be our chef. I'm gonna give him these. Oh, so you can only gift it once a week? That's annoying. You need fresh potatoes? Okay, I can get potatoes. I definitely have potatoes at my house. Anyway, so if you don't like medical talk, if it makes you squeamish, anything like that, then just tune out for the next few minutes. I haven't really ever talked about my jaw problems because that happened before I even started YouTube. I went through a few years worth of treatment for it, and I haven't ever really talked about it. It was not a great time in my life. I was very, very lonely, because it was kind of an isolating thing where you just feel weird and too different. So my jaw has been making a little cracking and popping since I was about 15, and back then it didn't hurt. It would just make like little popping when I chewed, and it would annoy people around me. My best friend since middle school, Brittany, she always used to be like, "Oh, your jaw is cracking again." Never thought anything of it. When I was 18 and had to get my wisdom teeth removed in an emergency situation, okay, that's nice. Why is there so much stuff? Why is there like, did they change the textures? It looks like they might have. Ooh, my game is kind of laggy. So I had to get my wisdom teeth removed in like a fun emergency situation because they were really bothering me. They were impacted against my molars. But my dentist immediately was like, are you aware that you have TMJ? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. It started to really impact my life after that. I started waking up with headaches every morning. My jaw would basically be locked in place. It would be like stiff like this, and I couldn't, it would take me a bit to open it again, and it would crack every time I would open it. I'll give him a decent potato, I guess. I'll put these in my inventory. I'm gonna sell that. Put that up there, I guess, for next time, for next week. Since apparently you can't gift it more than once a week. I'm gonna sell that though, because I don't think I need those. Anyway, I went through 2 or 3 different specialists and dentists for my jaw, and none of them were really helping. They only took x-rays of like the teeth, which usually TMJ is a muscular issue, not a tooth issue. So then I finally found my current dentist, who I still go and see today. And he was the first one that did a CT scan of my entire skull to see what was going on in there and like why it was doing that. I was, I think, 20 or 21 at the time. And he told me I was the most severe case that he has seen for someone so young and who has not been in an accident of any kind. Because I wasn't, we didn't get into a car accident. I wasn't injured in PE or anything like that. It just kind of happened. Where's Reth? You're all the way over here. Why? So we did that, and then we kind of formulated a treatment plan and all that fun stuff. So, for about a year, I would go once every other week for the span of 4 hours and get my jaw muscles tensed, which basically it's like little electric pulses being sent to your jaw muscles, which promotes healing and blood flow and all that fun stuff. It's exhausting. It's completely exhausting, but I did grow that myself. Thank you very much. Also, if you hear the garbage truck, I apologize, but they're coming past right now because clearly I want to record, and they're like, oh, perfect timing. I also had a mouth splint that stayed on my bottom teeth all the time, even while I chewed, while I slept. It was gross, but I got very used to it. My dentist also, after the tensing treatments, would put like these magnets right here and back here so he could track my jaw cracking via like sonar and stuff like that, which is pretty freaking cool. So then I went back into braces. I had braces when I was around 11, which my first set of braces actually caused my jaw problem. I don't remember what I was looking for, actually. I think I was gonna... Yeah, I don't remember what I was doing. But yeah, so first set of braces actually caused it, which is nothing to be afraid of with braces. 90% of people do just fine with them. My mouth didn't adapt to the changes very well because it does change your bite. You know, it shifts things around, so your bite isn't necessarily the same. So my muscles in my jaw did not adapt to it very well, and formed chronic TMJ. So I went back into braces for 2.5 years to try to shift my teeth into a comfortable bite position for my jaw. We're no longer looking at straightening teeth, keeping or removing an overbite, because I did have an overbite as a child. It wasn't about that anymore. It came to be about what was comfortable for my jaw to sit in. Because I would go to bed crying every night because it was so bad. The pressure that I felt in my head, the easiest way I can describe it is like, imagine you are swimming underwater in a pool and you're in the deep end and you feel all that pressure on your head. That's what it felt like on a daily basis, just around my jaw and my head, because it has a lot of pressure to you that you don't even realize. But yeah, it wasn't a great time in my life. I felt like a weirdo because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Because I had never done anything to provoke that or anything of that sort, you know. I have a liver issue now to where I can't eat sugar, I can't eat, you know, processed food, I can't eat red meat and all that fun stuff. But even back then, I didn't really eat much sugar. Like, it was very rare because I'm not so much of a sugary type person. I tend to like more salty foods and things of that nature. Sugar can cause inflammation and all that fun stuff. So they're like, oh, stay away from sugar. I was like, I literally don't touch it anyway. So I went back into braces, got them off. My jaw was in a much better place than it was. It's still cracked and everything. It's been, I think, a little less than 10 years since that. I genuinely, I can't remember how old I was when it happened. Because that entire period of my life, A, was really long, and B, it was a blur. Because I was, you know, taking a lot of pain medications, stuff like that, to try to mitigate it while we're in treatment, and it was an exhausting time. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, this is actually a pretty great run to just grab some gatherables and be able to sell it, because they respawn. If you switch servers or if you go through like a loading screen, they respawn again, and you can just keep gathering stuff. Normally I collect the clay, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I have a lot of clay. Oh, that's right. I was about to build an oven, I think. And I completely forgot. What up, dude? But yeah. So, again, it's been almost 10 years. And the reason I haven't recorded when I wanted to recently, because my plan was to record as soon as we got back from California. I wasn't sure if it was my tooth or if it was my jaw. I think you guys would know. About 2 years ago, I had surgery on 2 of my teeth. I had the root canal surgery. So basically, I had 2 root canals right next to each other that failed, which, fun facts, they can fail. Didn't know that, until they're like, oh no, the infection's back. And there's a crown sitting on my tooth. I'm like, what? Leave it to my mouth to be disastrous, because I take care of my teeth, but my teeth they just don't like me. They hate me. So I went to my endodontist just to make sure it wasn't the surgery teeth, because I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to get those pulled out. I need to make sure it's not those, because I was feeling like some throbbing up through here, which I know is kind of where your sinuses are, but in the nature of that surgery, they get very, very close to your sinuses. So it was incredibly possible that it was just some sinus pressure, or it was, you know, the surgery had failed. If that happens, then they would have to be yanked. Like, the teeth themselves would have to be pulled. He didn't see anything. They're completely fine. They don't hurt when I bite. I was feeling pain when I bit down towards the front right here. So I'm like, oh no. I have since made an appointment. I am going next week to my normal dentist, to get things checked out. because I do want them to do an x-ray just in case I need a cavity filled or something and it's just adding pressure to my jaw, which is not out of the ordinary. That's happened to me before, where I've needed like a root canal and I feel a lot of pressure in my jaw because I mean, it's all connected, so it makes sense. Give me that. And yeah, I haven't really been feeling the pressure in my tooth. I'm really wondering if I have been because Scott says he'll wake up in the middle of the night and see me like mashing my teeth together, because I've been very stressed lately with my health because it's just been all over the place, and it's very, very, very overwhelming when it all is kind of hitting at once and you're just sitting there like, please, I mentally I can't deal with that anymore. It's exhausting. So I have been very stressed. It wouldn't shock me if I've been grinding my teeth. And then it kind of created sensitivity with these teeth when I bite. But my jaw has been incredibly sore. It was taking me back to those days in my 20s. And I wound up sobbing one night with Scott because I was terrified that it's going to start happening again. And I don't want to go through that period of my life again. I know it's dumb, but I'm like trying not to cry because like I hated that time of my life. It sucked. But hopefully if it is a jaw problem and, you know, it's because I'm grinding my teeth, I'm assuming they're going to make me a night guard anyway. I was supposed to get one made after the braces, but we didn't have the money because I no longer had insurance at that point because I was over the age of 26, I think, when I got them off. The braces, that is. So I was no longer covered under my dad's insurance, and I didn't have my own at that point in time because trying to get a job when you're in pain 24/7 is really hard. But yeah, so the past few days have been pretty bad to where I couldn't really open the side of my mouth to talk. It was more like talking like this and you're not moving your mouth because it was too painful and it kept cracking on me. So I didn't want you guys to think that I was just disappearing because, oh, I don't feel like recording. That wasn't the case. I was dealing with a lot of jaw pain and and I already have chronic migraines as well because it runs in my family very, very heavily. And having that jaw pain just kind of triggers a migraine for me almost every freaking time. So talking for an extended period of time like this and recording and stuff like that, it just wasn't an option. I tried to make myself do it, but I realized I needed to take a step back and put my own health first. You know, I am in my mid-30s now, so almost in my mid-30s. I'm 33 right now. I will be 34 in a few weeks here, actually. My birthday's in November. But yeah, so it hasn't been a great time this past week or so because my jaw has been really, really bad. I woke up today feeling okay, and that's why I am recording this before it's like, hey, I'm gonna start making you miserable again until you get to the freaking dentist, lady. But I hope you guys take this as a sign to take care of yourselves as well. If there's something that's been going on with you, please go see a dentist. Please go see a doctor. It's scary. For me, I'm not afraid of the dentist at all. I clearly, because I was going once every other freaking week. So at that point, you kind of become like, oh, okay, it was just this again. And you stop being so terrified of it. For me, I don't like the unknown. And that's like the biggest issue for me is not knowing what's going on. That freaks me out more. Once I know what's going on with my mouth, I can wrap my head around it and deal with it, you know, as much as I don't want to. If I have to start doing tensing treatments again, it's gonna suck sitting there for 4 hours, but I'll do it for the sake of my jaw and all of that fun stuff. Yeah, so now you guys kind of know what I dealt with in my 20s and why I haven't been around the past few days, because again, I don't want to relive that. It wasn't a great time in my life. I still have chronic TMJ. Most people will get a case of TMJ in their life. So if your doctor's like, oh, you have TMJ right now, don't freak out. Again, most people go through bouts of it because that's just how our bodies work, where your jaw will be a little bit sore for a day or even a few weeks. But it will eventually go away. For me, mine is 24/7. Like at the end of every day, pretty much my jaw is exhausted and I have to kind of relax these muscles and let my lower jaw kind of hang free, to kind of relax it a little bit so I'm not getting a migraine. But mine is a daily occurrence. It's just been worse lately, and it's worse than I can physically handle, I guess. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go see my dentist next week, because that was the earliest they can get me in with the dentist that I prefer to see. They keep trying to put me with a new dentist who doesn't know, like, my history with TMJ, and I need my original dentist who knows what I've gone through, and knows exactly how to handle it. So I had to wait a little bit longer for the appointment, but that's fine. I've also been going through some other health things. It might be TMI. I've been getting recurrent UTIs, which are not, you don't get that in the way that you've probably been told that you get it. Women are obviously way more susceptible to getting them. You can get them from swimming and things like that. So it's not like you get them from any specific reason, if you get what I'm trying to say here. For me, I think I wound up with my first one ever last summer. Okay, and it can happen from dehydration. It can happen from being too sweaty. I'm thinking mine was caused by dehydration, but I don't think that bacteria ever fully left my body. So now I'm dealing with it on a recurrent basis, which is really freaking annoying, having your, like, listen, my entire life already kind of revolves around my migraines and my jaw. I don't need something else at my life. I have to, like, work it around, you know? So I do have an appointment with my OBGYN this week, on Thursday. Again, I'm going to try to record on Thursday to get some videos out, but it depends on how long the appointment lasts. It shouldn't last for too long. They never do. So I'm going to talk to her about that. I am trying the Eucora supplements and all of that fun stuff to try to get ahead of it and hopefully make it stop, because it sucks. I've also been having pelvic pain, but I actually think it's a muscle, which seems to be an issue with our generation specifically because we sit a lot. I was watching some videos about, like, exercises and stuff like that for it, and they call it, like, our pelvic sitting muscles, which I didn't realize your pelvic muscles are everything, like, from your hips to your like, upper thighs, basically. It's that entire section. So if you're sitting all the time, those muscles are becoming tight, they're becoming weak. So I started doing some little stretchies and stuff like that, and it's actually helped immensely. Like, I'm not in near as much pain as I was. I was terrified there was something, you know, going on with my ovaries or something like that. I don't think that anymore. I'm still gonna go and talk to her about it because, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially since, you know, my husband and I are getting closer to wanting children, and, you know, in the near-ish future, not right this second, because my priority is, like, recording and going to Disneyland. So I'm not quite ready for that yet. But, you know, it's better to be prepared for that sort of thing. Yeah, so the exercise have been helping quite a bit, which is nice because I can actually sit at my computer again. Why is this lagging, like, so hard? I know they just did an update today, so it's been a little weird. Yeah, as you can see, as we've been chatting here, I've just been running back and forth along this coast, and they will usually respawn by the time I run back and forth. You can also just, you know, log out and reset the server, and then they'll be there again. But it doesn't bother me to just keep running back and forth, honestly. And again, the trash people are coming by, so it's very loud outside. I do apologize if you hear them clunking around out there. They're incredibly loud. Yeah, so I have had a lot of health issues coming up, and I didn't want you guys to think that I was, like, making it up for the sake of not recording, because that's just not the truth. But sometimes your body is just like, okay, you need to take a step back and focus on your health. And that's exactly what my body did. It's one of those things, like, if you don't willingly take a break, your body's going to force you to take a break. And that's basically what's been going on. So, you know, I'm taking the steps to try to correct the problems. I'm taking the steps to get the help that I need for it and hopefully remedy it before it gets worse. So it's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to know, like, if you guys are dealing with anything, I don't want you to feel like you're alone either. again, that period of time in my 20s when I was going through my jaw stuff, I didn't really have, aside from like my mom and my dad, I didn't really have people I could reach out to and talk to. Even most of my friends that I have now, like Will and Joey, I didn't know them then. We hadn't connected at that point. I was just by myself trying to deal with this. So I don't want anyone to feel alone like I did during that time. Okay. Just floating there. Oh, this one's like my least favorite to get because I always end up like sinking into the freaking water. It's okay, we got it. I'm just gonna scooch past there. So yeah, take time to yourself. Focus on your health if you need to. Don't, run yourself ragged. You gotta take care of yourself. Otherwise, you can't do the things you love. Because, even if I had recorded the past few days, you guys would have seen and noticed how miserable I was. And I don't want that to be a thing because that's not me. I want to enjoy playing these games with you. I want to enjoy making these stories and doing the commentary and all of that fun stuff and not be focused on not moving my mouth too much and talking like this because that's not enjoyable for anyone. Certainly not for me and definitely not for you guys. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on what was going on with that. Because, we've been doing this for a long time, since 2016, 2017. So, I feel like we're buddies now and we can talk about that kind of thing. Jeez, that was, oh my goodness, the lag. It's pretty bad today. Again, they did just do an update, so I'm not shocked by it, but it is what it is. I really like this game though. Shifting away from medical mumbo jumbo stuff, I have been playing this just to relax. I'm not, this is gonna sound really bad. I'm not typically the cozy gamer type. I really like, ASIM horrors, clearly, because I play Dead by Daylight. I've been super addicted to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, we play it a lot. And things like that. I like that sort of adrenaline rush. But this one lately has been really nice for me in particular during all this jaw stuff where I can't really talk too much. To just kind of sit here and do something mindless as collecting things to sell, and trying to get more money. Which is basically what I'm doing right now while I'm chatting with you guys. Because I find this oddly relaxing just running back and forth along this little area. And gather. Ooh, another flower spawned here. This one like hardly ever spawns for me, so I'm kind of shocked. I got it twice already. Yeah, this is what I've just been kind of doing to get money. I know I can do plants, which I do have a full tomato garden. I know there's like a specific grid you're supposed to be using with like potatoes, stuff like that, but listen, I'm lazy and that's not happening. I did it like once or twice and I was like, ugh, this is way too much work. So I kind of gave up on that. And I'm like, I can handle watering it a few times a day for them to grow. That's fine with me. Let's see, can I teleport to my house or did I already use that? I haven't used that. So I can show you guys my garden. Let me grab these real quick though. But yeah, so a lot's been going on. Again, we went to California to visit his family. We are back home. He also has a dentist appointment coming up because I think he has a cavity because it's like hurting him in certain things to like eat. So it's like, he's going to my dentist though, so he's in good hands. Yeah, we have an appointment on the same day. Couple's dentist appointment. Heck yeah. Nothing there. I don't know why I'm running back. I'm like, I'm gonna show you guys my garden and I just keep running around because why not? Here we go. Okay, if I don't see anything along the coast, I don't. Okay, so we are going to quickly return home. Also, I did not show you guys my shirt. I'm wearing Michael. Clearly, that's the type of game I like. I'm going to sell this stuff that I gathered because I can always get some more. But look, just from like us talking for about like 20-ish minutes, I gained 1,600 coins. So I feel like that's an excellent deal. What's in my mailbox? Yeah, I know how to use it. Thank you. I think you are ready to help me with special mission. Mark as red. This is my garden, though. Which you guys saw at the beginning of the video. I need to water it. Why? Why are there all these like little sprouts here? I don't understand. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this video here before I ramble on anymore about my health stuff. Or anything else for that matter, because I can talk for hours if you let me. Especially now that my jaw's feeling fine, I'm like, I gotta get my talking in. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for understanding that I need to put that first for right now. Obviously Sims is going to be coming back. I'm going to be recording it this week regardless, probably after my OBGYN appointment on Thursday, because that's just constantly on my brain and I can't focus. I'm a very anxious person, so ruminating on it and thinking about it that's coming up is like occupying my brain to where I can't be creative, if that makes sense. But yeah. So I will leave you guys here again before I ramble anymore. I know someone asked about Big Brother, and that will be returning. I need to figure out a series or two to kind of put on hold while I work on that, because Big Brother does take a lot of time. Like I'm usually working on it at least every day for a little bit. So it does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of preparing and things like that to get Big Brother up and running. We will be doing it though. I'll probably put up a poll in the community tab on which series you're okay with me taking a break from right now while we focus on that. I also need to get that Disney series up and running now that I'm feeling a little bit better. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!